I've been selling digital products on Etsy for over 2 years now. And as a top seller in my niche, some of the most common questions I get from new and aspiring Etsy sellers are about marketing my products. Where do I post on social media and how often? Do I use Instagram? Do I pay for Etsy ads? And how am I actually getting traffic to my products? And the truth is, I never spend any time or money promoting my Etsy products anywhere, and I don't have to because I mastered something called Etsy SEO. So today I'm gonna walk you through my exact 5-step Etsy SEO strategy. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to optimize each and every one of your Etsy listings and maximize your chances of landing on the first page of Etsy search and becoming a top seller in your niche. So let's just jump right into it and talk about what SEO is and why it even matters. So SEO is actually an acronym and it stands for search engine optimization. And in case you're brand new to this concept, don't worry, I'll explain how it works. So Etsy isn't just a website. It actually functions more like a search engine. That basically just means when shoppers want to find a specific product on Etsy, they go to the search bar at the top of their screen to type in a search. And each and every time anyone types in any word or group of words into the Etsy search bar, the Etsy algorithm scrubs the Etsy marketplace to find a bunch of different products that customer would be most likely to purchase. The Etsy algorithm isn't a mind reader, of course, but it makes a prediction about which products it should show each customer based on a variety of factors, including how well the keywords that are in each product's listing matches with what the shopper has typed into the Etsy search bar. So to put it simply, Etsy SEO is the science of optimizing the keywords in each of your Etsy product listings so the Etsy algorithm knows exactly who to show your products to. And mastering this skill allows Etsy to show your products to the highest number of specific buyers that are most likely to actually purchase what you're selling. And unlike when you're actually creating your products or designing the branding for your Etsy shop, there isn't a lot of room for creativity when it comes to your Etsy SEO process. In fact, there's a very specific strategy that I use as a top seller to give each and every one of my product listings the maximum chance of becoming a bestseller. So since you understand the concept of Etsy SEO and why it matters so much, let's get into step 1 of my Etsy SEO strategy, which is keyword research. In order to know what keywords to actually integrate into your Etsy listings, you first have to figure out exactly what your buyers are typing into Etsy search to find products in your niche. And if your goal is to get as many sales as possible, you'll want to focus on integrating keywords that have a high search volume. So for the sake of this video, we'll use the example product of printable wall art. Right now I'm running an experiment on my channel to see if I can start a brand new Etsy shop selling printable wall art and make $5,000 within 90 days. I'm super skeptical about this niche because so many videos that I've watched about it seem too good to be true. So I'm going to be implementing all the strategies that I've learned as an experienced seller to test if it's realistically possible to succeed in this higher competition niche. And that includes my SEO strategy. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to actually take you with me behind the scenes so I can show you how I actually apply my keyword research process to my own Etsy shop. So let's do it. All right, so I've got Profit Tree's product finder pulled up, and this is the tool that I use for all of my Etsy product research. So the first thing that I want to do is select the search bar here and type in a very simple search related to whatever product that I want to sell. So I'll type in printable wall art here and then I'll hit search. Okay, so now we've barely scratched the surface here, but there's already a bunch of useful data that we're going to collect so that way we can use it to optimize our listing. So first, you'll notice that directly under the search bar here, there's a list of top related keywords. These are keywords with a high search volume, which means that if we use them in our Etsy listings, it's going to tell the Etsy algorithm to show our products to more of the right buyers. Now, some of these keywords are more generic, so they can be used actually across all of the products in my new shop. Some of the really good generic keywords here are digital download, home decor, and instant download. I can definitely see myself integrating those keywords into most, if not all, of the products that I'm going to be listing on my own shop. But some of them are much more specific, like this one here, iron on transfer. I'm not planning on making any iron on transfer designs. I'm not even sure how to do that. But of course, just because that's a top related keyword doesn't mean that's something that I necessarily want to integrate into my own product listings because it's not relevant for me. But it is something to keep in mind for the future. If I run out of product ideas or if I want to explore a different direction with my shop, I can definitely take into consideration this iron on transfer keyword and maybe experiment with that type of product to see if it gets more traction than my other products. We definitely want to take note of these keywords, so I'm going to copy and paste them into the Notion planner that I use to manage my Etsy shop. Okay, so I've got my Notion planner pulled up and I've actually got 2 keyword lists here. One has generic categorical keywords that I'll probably be able to use across most of the listings on my shop. And then the other list has more specific descriptive keywords. These are the keywords that I'll use as inspiration for the types of products that I'll want to create. Since these are popular search terms, I know that a lot of buyers are searching for products like this. And since my goal is to maximize my sales, it's going to be a good idea for me to spend my time creating these high demand products. Okay, we're back at Profit Tree now. And now that we've got some keywords written down, the next thing I want to do is find an example of a product that's the exact same type of product that I want to sell. Since the search term printable wall art is kind of broad. I want to specify my search so that way I can find the specific type of printable wall art I want to start off selling. So I'm going to refine my search in the search bar here and type in printable nursery decor. Okay, perfect. So now we can see a bunch of top selling products on Etsy that fall under this category, and we can see exactly how much revenue each of these products generated last month. So I want to pick a product that's performing well. That way I can take note of the keyword data. That way I can utilize the same keywords in my own product. So like I mentioned earlier, the keyword research that I'm doing here is actually for my print shop. So in a recent video where I was doing behind the scenes research and kind of laying the groundwork for that shop, I discovered that I really wanted to focus on selling prints that were in sets rather than selling giant bundles of thousands of prints, because that's not realistic for me, especially since I'm a brand new seller in this niche. I really like the idea of selling prints that were in a set of 6. And here in Profit Tree, we can see that this second listing here that's called Teddy Bear Sports Wall Art Set. This one product alone generated over $2,100 last month and 90 monthly sales, which in my opinion is really, really great for only one product. So before I go taking note of the keywords in this listing, I want to view the listing just to verify that it is the same type of product that I want to sell. Because of course, since I'm selling digital downloads, I don't necessarily want to copy the strategies of products that are physical products. Before I dive any deeper into the actual keyword research into this product, I want to hit view on Etsy. That way I can make sure that it matches what I want to sell. Okay, so I've got this shop pulled up on Etsy, and I know normally you can see the names of shops, of course, when you're shopping on Etsy, but I have everything blurred here just because I'm making a YouTube video and I want to protect the identity of these sellers and their shops. But I can see everything on my end, and when you use Profit Tree, you'll be able to see the names of the shops, not only when you click view on Etsy, but also when you're in Profit Tree and looking at all the details. Okay, so first things first, I want to look at the title of this product. So I already know that this is a digital download because it has the word printable in the title. So this is going to be a good reference for us to sort of take note of the keywords that are being used here. Okay, there's already a lot of individual keywords and groups of keywords in the title that are catching my attention. So I'm actually just going to copy this title here. That way I can paste it into my Notion template. And then down here at the description, I also want to take note of the first few lines here and notice any words that are from the title that repeat in the listing's description. Some keywords that are standing out to me here are child's room, set of 6, vintage, vintage style, teddy bear, sports, illustrations, watercolor, print, nurseries, playrooms, and kids rooms. Okay, so now I've got these keywords pasted into my Notion template, so I'll be able to reference them later when I'm building my own product listing. Okay, so now that we've got some keywords written down based on what we've seen in the title and in the description of this product listing, I want to go back to this product result on Profit Tree. That way I can actually see the exact tags that the seller is using on this product. Tags on Etsy are kind of a hidden section, so only the shop owner can actually see the tags that they use on their listings. But tags are super important when it comes to ranking in the Etsy algorithm. I'm going to show you how to use them later, but first I want to take note of the tags that this seller is using. So here in Profit Tree, I can actually scroll over to the right here, and under the tag section, I can see the 13 tags that the seller is using. And you have the option here to just select copy all tags. And as you can see, some of the tags the seller is using include teddy bear sports, digital download, boy sports room, sports gallery wall, and more. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy these tags into my keyword vault in my Notion planner as well. Okay, so now that I've got these keywords copied and pasted into my Notion planner, we can move on to the next step. So we've seen an example of a best-selling product and the keywords that that product is ranking for. So the first step of our Etsy SEO strategy is complete. I'll drop a link to Profit Tree, which is the Etsy tool that I used, in the description box below this video. You can actually click that link to get Profit Tree's lifetime offer, which means you won't have to pay a monthly subscription to use it like you do with most Etsy tools. And instead, you can just pay a one-time fee and you'll get lifetime access to use their product finder to do unlimited Etsy product research. And now that you've got everything you need to actually complete step 1 of the SEO strategy, I can walk you through step 2 of my Etsy SEO strategy, which is where we'll choose our tags. So I've got my new Etsy listing pulled up here. Okay, so if you scroll all the way down here under attributes, you can see that Etsy allows you to input 13 tags. So Etsy lets you choose 13 tags, and you want to make sure that you always fill out all 13. Each tag that you fill out multiplies your chances of getting discovered by more shoppers. And you don't just want to pick a random group of keywords that are loosely related to your product or your niche. You want your tags to be highly relevant to the specific product listing that you're creating. I like to think of my tags as being in 2 separate groups, and each of those groups serves a particular purpose. So group group one is going to be my categorical tags. These tags are a bit more generic and their primary purpose is to tell the Etsy algorithm what you're actually selling. So for this example product that I'm creating, based on the high ranking keywords that we found in our research, the categorical tags that I want to include are printable, wall art, nursery decor, and digital download. Now you'll notice that some of our tags are individual words like printable, and others are groups of words like wall art, nursery decor, and digital download. Words that customers in this niche are typing in together in the search bar should be grouped together in our tags. So for example, for wall art, I wouldn't want to put the word wall as one tag and then the word art as another tag. Since customers in this niche are typing in the words wall and art together in the search bar, I'll group that together as one tag. So we've got our categorical tags done. Now we can move on to the tags in group 2, which are our highly descriptive tags. Now these tags aren't going to have as high of a search volume as our categorical tags, and that's actually exactly why we're choosing them. And I know this might sound counterintuitive if you're completely new to the concept of Etsy SEO, and you might be thinking, wait a minute, isn't the whole point of this to choose keywords that have the highest number of searches? And I hear you, but stick with me and I'll explain why this strategy works. So our broader tags in category 1 might have a lot of searches, but so many of the shoppers that are typing in these keywords into the search bar are really looking for completely different things. For example, let's look at the tag wall art that we used in this listing. Think about all the different kinds of shoppers that are looking for wall art for completely different purposes. You've got expecting parents who are looking for wall art for their new nursery, college freshmen who want to decorate their dorm rooms, and Airbnb hosts who want to carry a specific aesthetic like vintage or classy or industrial. Each of these shoppers, even though they're typing in the term wall art into the Etsy search bar, they're all looking for a completely different type of product to serve their specific need. So while technically the keyword wall art has a high search volume, that's just because a lot of shoppers are looking for products in that category. So many new sellers are hyper-focused on finding the highest ranking keywords based on Etsy search data, but they forget that the customers that are shopping on Etsy are real people looking for products to help them fulfill a real need. So in order to get our products in front of the real humans who actually want to buy them, we have to integrate highly descriptive tags, which are meant to match the contextual and stylistic words and phrases that shoppers are typing into search. So for our example product here, I went ahead and added the highly descriptive tags, and those include vintage, baby girl, baby shower gift, teddy bear, playroom, kids room, gender reveal, watercolor art, and pink kids room. These tags describe our product's style and the context in which our shoppers are going to actually be using the product. So now that we've chosen our tags, we're ready to move on to step 3 of our SEO strategy, which is writing our title. Since we've already done the groundwork with our keyword research and choosing our tags, writing a high-performing Etsy title is relatively simple. We'll use the tags that we've chosen as ingredients to write our title, but instead of simply listing each of the keywords, we want to weave them into our title in a way that makes it really easy to read. So for this listing, I'll use the title Vintage Kids Room Wall Art for Baby Girl Nursery, teddy bear watercolor art for playroom, pink baby shower gift. The way this title is structured, it actually almost acts like 5 separate titles. We've got vintage kids room wall art for baby girl nursery, teddy bear watercolor art for playroom, and pink baby shower gift. So we've integrated all the same keywords that we've used in our tags, and we've placed some natural separation here with this line and this comma. That way the title won't sound unnatural or confusing for our shoppers. And because the Etsy algorithm is really smart, it does this little thing called broad matching. So it's actually going to mix and match different individual keywords from our title and group them together, and that's going to make our listing's performance even stronger. So in this title here, even though our listing doesn't have these exact phrases, we're going to be able to rank for some terms like vintage teddy bear wall art and baby shower gift for baby girl, because the Etsy algorithm is going to scan our listing and match those related keyword phrases together. And to give our listing the chance of ranking for a variety of related searches just like this, we're going to implement step 4 of my SEO strategy, which is all about our listing description. Now, there's a lot that goes into writing a good Etsy listing description. And of course, you want to give your buyer relevant details like your product's dimensions, how it can be used, and how it's delivered. But for SEO purposes, I want to focus really on the first few lines of the listing description. This is a golden opportunity to reintegrate some of the same keywords that we use in our title and our tags. I like to start my descriptions by simply rephrasing the listing's title. That way I hit the same individual keywords, but I'm able to rank for different long tail keywords. And long tail keywords is just a fancy way of saying groups of keywords. This is hitting the most important keywords in my tags and in my title. So we've got vintage teddy bear wall art for baby girl baby shower, and baby shower gift. Now under this, I'm going to type in a readable but keyword rich description. Okay, so we've got our description here, And as you can see, it's easy to read, but I have integrated a bunch of keywords. And I phrased them in a different way in order to support the Etsy algorithm's broad matching feature. That way I rank for different combinations of the individual keywords that I've integrated all throughout my SEO. So I'll read this out to you and I'll highlight the keywords. That way you can see how I've sort of naturally listed them here in the first few lines of my description. So it says, looking for the perfect pink wall decor for your baby girl's vintage nursery or a baby shower gift for a baby girl. This beautiful vintage print set will make the perfect addition to a nursery, playroom, or kids room. This printable wall art is an instant download, making for the perfect last minute gift. So you can see we've got a bunch of keywords throughout the first part of our description. And this is really the most important part of our description when it comes to SEO. So for the rest of our description, we can really use that space however we want. And we can just include important details that our buyers might want to know before purchasing the product. All right, so now you should have a solid understanding of how to implement a strong SEO strategy for each individual product in your shop. But you're not done yet. Once you've got your listings keywords optimized, this is where the real work begins, because none of the SEO stuff even matters if you don't actually track the data to see how it impacts your product's performance. So once you make your new listings or you go back and update your old listings SEO, it's critical that you follow through with step 5, which is to track the performance of each of your products. Now, especially if you're considering running Etsy ads in your shop, you do not want to pay for Etsy ads before you see strong results with Etsy SEO alone. Because if you do this, you'll essentially be paying Etsy to show your products to the wrong people. And that is a complete waste of money. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use Etsy ads at all. I personally haven't used it for my own shop, but I might experiment with it with this next shop just to see how it works. But I definitely won't use Etsy ads in my first 90 days because first I need to implement my strategy and track the results and the performance. And when I say track the performance of your products, I don't just mean checking your stats every day to see if you've gotten more sales. I mean doing a deep dive into the individual analytics of each of your product listings to see how shoppers found you, what keyword searches brought them to you, and if those specific keyword searches were relevant enough to result in sales. You should document your findings somewhere, so whether you want to write them down on paper or put them in a digital planner. That way, after 30 days of updating your listings SEO, you can go back and see what changed. I'll link the Notion planner that I use to manage my own Etsy shop in the description box below this video in case you want to use it. This is the same Notion planner that I put my keywords into, but I actually use this to plan my individual listings. So up here at the product planner, I can go to my most recent product idea and I can just upload screenshots of my Etsy stats so that way I can track how they've changed. This setup works really well for me and it keeps me organized and productive when it comes to my Etsy shops. So I definitely recommend doing some form of tracking and planning in whatever way works well for you. After you update your SEO, if you notice that your products start to get more traffic but your sales don't increase, that is a huge red flag. And it means something either isn't quite right with your price, with your listing images, or even with the specific keywords that you chose. So you want to make a change to one of those factors and then let your Etsy listing do its thing for about 30 days and then check back in to see if anything has changed. If you're not sure how to actually find and interpret the analytics of your individual Etsy shop listings, and if you want me to walk you through how I do that for my own shop, let me know in the comments below and I'll show you that in a future video. And if you've got any lingering questions about keywords or Etsy SEO, feel free to drop a comment below. And don't forget to give this video a like if you found it helpful and subscribe so you don't miss my future videos, including my 90-day side hustle experiment where I'm showing the behind the scenes and the results of my new Etsy shop where I'm selling printable wall art. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.